out the park. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us. 'Cause now you're listening to the Rough Cut.
Hello, and welcome down to yet another episode of the As of Yet award-winning golf podcast. And boy, oh boy, you are blessed to be in the presence of the number one podcast in Ireland, Finland, Singapore, and Australia.
Yes!
Wow. Within the golf category, only on Apple Podcasts because the metric that we use doesn't include Spotify, but still.
Well done, those countries.
It's fantastic to be topping the charts in some regard. You know, we will look back in this in many years to come and remember these glory days. And we're also at 20,000 subscribers here on the YouTube channel.
Sorry to create work for you, but confetti.
Fireworks as well. If you are watching this on YouTube, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And if you are listening to this on your favorite podcast provider and you fancy actually seeing the words coming out of our mouths, please head over and subscribe to the YouTube channel because there's more stuff available there.
Do you reckon there's anyone that still doesn't know what any of us look like? They've like not even jumped across. I hope so.
Yeah, I hope there's people listening to this who haven't watched any of our videos and just wonder like, what do they look like? Yeah. And when they go to the videos, because no one ever looks like what they sound like.
Sure.
That's just like a historic precedent.
So what they think that you might be Mick and Mick might be Kieran and I might be Pete. And
If you are just listening to this on a audio provider and you've never seen what we look like, come to the YouTube channel and in the comments here put whether we look like what you thought we were going to look like.
to be honest, you know
subscribe.
What? Maybe don't.
Yeah.
Because I've got to be completely honest with you. If you are our fan base in Guatemala and you've not actually watched any of the videos, you're not missing out on anything if you're not looking at us. Like we're just perfectly average people. You know what I mean? There's a reason why we're trying to move into audio.
We don't have to film anything.
Faces for radio
faces.
is basically what you're saying.
Yeah. Like we can be, when we use our words wisely, we can be anyone we want.
That's true.
Jacob can be an announcer. Can we just have a small internet round of applause for Jacob's voiceovers on the flyovers of the Myrtle Beach qualifier?
Thank you.
Well done, Jacob.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, 90% of the comments were positive. There was 10% that were, what the hell is that? But sometimes I got away with it. A lot of people thought it was you doing it.
No, my mum knew it was you.
Oh, I'm sure.
Literally straight away.
Why is Jacob doing a weird accent?
That's not far away from what she said. She's like, "What? Why is Jacob doing an American accent on those voiceovers?" And I was like, "Well, it's a flyover. It's an American tour event." She's like, right.
Don't get it.
Straight over her head.
And I think she did back it up with like, but he's very good.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Oh, he's very good. Very talented.
Oh, well, there you go.
Good old mum.
Good old mums. Happy birthday to Kieran's mum as well over the weekend.
Yeah, yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, made her day.
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
I took her
Tess.
out for a lovely meal, spent 150, 170 quid, whatever it was. And the thing that made the day was you sending a message to her. Yeah.
Well,
Did you have to buy it on Cameo?
Yeah, cost her. But she returned the favour in making my day the other day. I mean, I've had a wonderful weekend. It's only taken us 5 or 6 minutes into the podcast to announce that Ipswich Town did get promoted to the Premier League, which I still can't quite believe. And I had a few messages from family and friends, and one Tess Mulhall sent me a message to say, congratulations, well done to Ipswich, which was absolutely lovely.
I think by the sounds of it, everyone had like a really good weekend this bank holiday.
Mm-hmm. I mean, bank holidays usually go, weather was good.
Good, yeah.
Vibes were great. Football results were excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as United fans, but you know.
Beers were flowing.
Beers were flowing.
By the way, I just want to have a quick shout out. The Salopian Brewery and the pint of Golden Thread. Oh my God.
Good.
Where's that?
Where the heck is that?
Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury, yeah. So there's a little pub called the Three Fishes, which is like it's just like a Tudor building. Like there's hardly any windows.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a cave in there. It's great.
Very low ceilings.
Yeah,
I feel you.
And like dogs running around everywhere. You know, my perfect.
Your
kind of
dream.
place.
Yeah.
A cave with dogs in it.
Is that the one? Is that the one that we went in? Is that the one that we went in?
Oh, what, during the
Fairway
cycle?
Down?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it was like a
Bit of a
Tudor,
blur for
really
you, wasn't it?
old Tudor building. One with like an old horse Like it's got like a stable.
Oh no,
at the
that
back.
was the Nags. That was the Nags.
Nags,
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
Right.
I went there as well.
Right.
It's really worth though.
Oh my god, honestly. But yeah, Golden Thread. What a pint.
Okay.
Oh my goodness me.
Talk us through the flavors and the notes.
It-
On the nose, how was it on the nose?
on the nose, it had a crispness, but a deepness I wasn't expecting, with a caramel finish. Wow. But it wasn't sweet. Oh, it was just, I mean, admittedly, I was a little bit excited to be back in Shrewsbury and I had a couple of drinks. And there was a dog there. Not only Murph. There
How's Murph doing?
Murph's doing great.
Excellent.
But there was a beautiful black Labrador in there as well. Oh, I loved his bum being scratched. The dog.
Not you.
Not me.
That was what Mum said as well in the message you sent. She said, "Oh, he was a bit drunk though." You know, so you must have sent it when you were.
I saved myself. I was like, "Shall I send one sober?" And I was like, "No, I'll get to it."
Get to a level and then-
Do you know what? It made it better. Okay.
Give me a couple of these threads and then I'll do it.
Whilst having your few beers, did you raise a glass to a friend, Mr. Bernard Hill?
The news hadn't broken by this
Had
point.
it not broken?
I was still quoting Lord of the Rings with reckless abandon. Like,
Yeah.
didn't even know.
Heartbreaking.
What an absolute legend.
Also Titanic as well.
Yes, so
It was
Yeah.
actually Titanic before
Yeah.
Lord
the
of the Rings.
fact that I saw was that he's the only actor in history to be in 2 films that won 11 Oscars.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That
isn't
is
it?
wild.
Go on, Bernard.
Big Bernie.
Just an absolute legend.
Just a legend.
So, rest in peace, King Theoden.
King Theoden. Yeah,
What a guy.
We will continue your words forever.
we will.
Well, that's it. Like, he will last forever.
He will.
Looks like you're crying a little bit.
I really am.
From the lights.
Boy was an absolute, the
Yeah,
guy's a
yeah,
legend.
yeah.
Like you said, like we'll quote his words
Yeah.
On the
Forever.
next YouTube video.
through
Yeah.
eternity.
Yeah.
Next YouTube
Next
video.
podcast. And the next one after that.
Get it in somewhere.
If you,
sure
if you ever hear multiple men shouting death on the first tee of a hole, you'll know it's us.
Clattering golf clubs next to each other.
Right now!
You know what? If we ever set up this golf day,
Everyone's got to line up with a golf club.
it's going to be a shotgun start, but we get everybody to do that beforehand. How amazing would that be? So, someone say we got slightly off topic, but I think that's a perfect introduction. Stuff that's been going on this week. We've had the Quest for the Open 3rd episode released.
Yeah,
That was great.
we got very wet.
And cold. It was potentially the worst day on the golf course I think I've had in a long time, as far as like weather and conditions.
Yeah,
and play.
it was hard to watch and film. I can't imagine how hard it would have been to play.
Because of the weather, not because of the golf.
Well, in places that no. In your defense, in places the golf was very, very good, and then the like flip side was there was a few mental lapses which cost you being much higher up that table than you should have been. There wasn't very much to shout about apart from some long drives. You had 2 birdies.
There wasn't a lot going on.
Yeah, there we go.
It was a round of like, meh. And I think I had one really bad hole, 2 really bad holes really in my mind, and that cost me pretty much all my shots. So it was
a tough day. Only one person shot under par. It's not easy.
Was he one of the people we expected to shoot under par as well?
Phil's
Archer,
great.
right?
Yeah.
That was Phil Kelly.
I was like Phil Kelly.
Phil Kelly.
Well, there you go.
Isn't he the guy that wins all of them?
He just wins all of them.
Yeah.
Turns up, wins.
There's a few guys within like the North region, PGA North region, and in Lancashire who you know are just going to play well.
Yeah.
Like you just know. There's a guy called Craig Corrigan. He hits it no way. It's like a short hitter.
Yeah.
But as soon as you turn up at a golf course, you look at it, you're like,
This is a Craig Corrigan golf course.
Craig's going to win.
He hits it very straight.
Yeah.
I think you said that before with a lot of these events. Like, as long as you just hit it straight, you'll score.
Yeah, it's weird because like a lot of the courses that we play on, like they're not modern championship golf courses.
Yeah.
Like they've all been built in
Yeah.
1850 or like early 1900s, and they're all short, they're all tight, mature trees. So yeah, it's a different type of game than probably what I would like. You know, I'd like something a little bit wider, a little bit longer, where I can use the advantages that I have. However, it's about adapting. It's about overcoming. And I can't
Now
remember what I said.
learning.
Yeah.
I don't think there were any trees on that golf course.
Fleetwood, no. Can you imagine like how windy it was? Can you imagine just a single tree like
That would be your
growing
dream.
up there and being like,
I'm not moving.
every single tree. Think about this. Every single tree that's ever tried to grow on that golf course grew to a certain point and said, "This isn't worth it."
Yeah.
Was that about the 9th you felt like that?
Yeah, I felt like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't worth
What
it.
was that like weird building?
That is a lighthouse
Oh,
and lookout tower.
it's not the most attractive one in the world.
What
But
do you mean? It's brutalist. It's lovely.
Yeah,
I really liked
there's
it.
something a little bit to it, but I didn't.
It reminded me of London a little bit, even though obviously there's no sea in London. It was like, it reminded me of,
No one's ever said that.
I'll get there. It reminded me of the like skate park underneath South Bank. It's got the same kind of designy
Right, okay.
slopes and shapes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know the one you mean.
Do you
as
know
well.
it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It does.
I really funny story of that. I met the New Zealand rugby team there. They were it was really weird. And F2 freestylers and Stuart Broad. It was we in
At one time?
yeah
Oh,
we
right.
They were all skateboarders.
Just went back 3 times.
me, mum,
Every time I go there.
me, mum, dad, and my mate Brad. We were just walking along the South Bank, and then these people were here, and like it was like Adidas were having this,
there we go.
Adidas were having this thing, and they had this like wind tunnel, and you had to run with a rugby ball in like a wind tunnel, so you were just running into like a 70-mile-an-hour wind or something like that. And Dad did it and got a rugby ball from it.
Oh, there you go.
Signed a
Go
couple
on.
of things.
Go on, Dad.
Go on, John.
But yeah, Stuart Broad is unbelievably tall. Unbelievably
Confirmed.
tall. Yeah.
He's actually the size of that lighthouse.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
He
Oh,
is.
is that what we're going for?
Yeah.
So not the actual skate park reminds you of it. Stuart
Stuart
Broad in
Broad.
the skate
Stuart
park,
Broad in South Bank. Yeah.
leaning slightly over.
Oh, rocks.
Well, did not see that going.
Yeah, that's a segue.
If you haven't seen the Question Open video, please do. It's one of the first mini series event that we've sponsored. There's 5 running up to Open qualifying in June. We've got 2 coming up in very quick succession as well. So been trying to get practicing a little bit more for those, trying to get my game in shape. I don't feel I'm that far away.
Have we told people what's happening at the next event?
So yeah, this is what I was. So I saw you shared something on your Instagram that was maybe in relation to what you're talking about. Now, to be said, we don't even need to hide this on here because the podcast and the Discord, everything probably know about the pies.
Yeah.
Now, is that information is now freely known to the people playing?
It is not classified information anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
The seal has been broken on the top secret envelope, and yes, we can announce that for the next mini series event at Stan Golf Club,
Quest miniseries.
Clayton Park Bakery. Listen to a podcast that we did about a month and a bit ago, and we said that with these mini series events, if there's any local companies that want to donate anything, that want to try and get involved in some way within these events, we'd be more than up for it. Whether it be like a sponsorship, whether it be goods to give to the pros, whatever it may be, we'd take all considerations. And one of the suggestions that we made, flippantly, was if someone wanted to get involved and give us some pies, some butter pies, then that'd be great. And we all had a laugh like, oh, how northern. So, Clayton Park Bakery got in touch and said,
Yes, we're northern enough.
said, yeah, of course. Like we will give you 100 butter pies, which got the cogs whirring. Like, what the hell are we going to do with 100 butter pies? And I had the bright idea that for every birdie that a player gets, they will get a butter pie at Stan Golf Club.
There you go.
Which I think is a great incentive to come out and play. The only proviso is that when that first was, pitched in the office, I thought, what if you go like 7 under, right? You've got to take home like 7 pies. Do I have to eat them there and then? And then it was revealed that in fact you get to take them home and cook them yourself.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's not as if you have to eat 7 pies
It's not a
there.
challenge.
It's not like man versus food. Well done for winning the
I mean,
tournament. Now eat 9 pies.
That man will have a very repetitive dinner every day for a week. But
What a fantastic leveler that would be, though. Because if you're playing really well and you're birdieing everything, like if you had birdied the first 4 holes
You have to eat 4
and
pies.
you had to eat 4 pies, you would quickly get back to level.
What if you had to eat them at the turn?
No, I think after every hole.
sorry,
before you reach the next green, you got to down that pie.
How quick does a butter pie go down?
I like
Horrible. Not well.
the
first one
not
quick,
well.
second one
the first few
slow.
like amazingly well.
Yeah.
But it's a heavy pie. It's just basically pastry, potato, and butter. Bit of ketchup, obviously.
Sounds wonderful.
Good Lord.
And I'm going to put this out, Kieran. You cannot disparage the good name of butter pies anymore.
What do you mean? No,
do you want to know Kieran's story about butter pies?
It involves going to watch football. And,
I watched them at Preston.
Went to watch the mighty Preston North End.
Which is probably the best place to have a butter pie.
Like my famous culinary delight of my home city. And like Kieran was giving them, like he was saying, I ate a couple, I didn't feel very well, all the rest of it.
It's weak southern bellies, that's what
It's
that
not
is.
weak southern bellies, it's the 12 pints he had before. And it's like, I just don't feel great after eating them.
Yeah, no, I didn't feel well. I did not feel well after that.
God's sake.
But they are lovely, though. They are lovely, I must say. They are really,
No pies
really
for
nice.
you.
Yeah.
And that's very good because you have been practicing hard, Peter Finch, which means that you may be taking home all 100 of the pies yourself.
What if there's like more than 100 birdies? What happens?
So
That would be a hell of a day on the golf
Do you know
course.
what I mean,
so
though? Do you know what I mean?
So we've got I think it's between 40 and 50 pros.
Oh,
So everyone. Oh,
That's
okay.
sneaky
Oh,
bum
actually,
time,
you know
that is.
what?
Let's hope there's not a stinky easy pin on a par 3 or something.
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 pros. So let's say there's the par 5s, there's going to be a lot of birdies, but actually that golf course is pretty tricky.
maybe the bogeys just
Give your
cancel
mind
out.
back.
It literally does work. Like that.
And if you
And there you go. Oh no, hang on. No, you didn't. Hang on.
if
Take
you
that
shot
back.
one over, you owe us a pie.
You got to go make one for next week.
So to be honest, I'm thinking
Doing a cake stall.
like most of the time, if you're having a very, very good round, you're going to get about 5 birdies, and there's going to be people who only have kind of 1 and 2. So I think
Okay.
it's
You're
going to balance
right,
itself
okay.
out.
It might work.
I've had a chat to the organisers about. I think we might, if someone does go mental, I think we might cap it at say 5 pies.
Right.
Okay.
Because
Phil Kelly's taken home 37 pies.
yeah, it's just loading the car up, back, fucking boots on the axis.
First ever 58 on the PGA Lancashire.
Yeah.
So taking 12 home.
Who'd
know what?
have thunk it? All they need was pie
fair play,
motivation.
Will we get to take any home?
No. You've just
How
said
many birdies
hate
did you
them.
have?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's
How many birdies did you have at stand?
Do we get any for filming? How can we earn them?
What we need to hope for is a very, very high scoring day
Yeah.
and that there's leftover pies.
Yeah.
And then they just go in the fridge at the office. And we'll eat them
So
here.
any leftover pies we're going to leave to the golf club, so
Okay.
they can have a pie special that week.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's fair
I'm
enough.
sure that we can have 1 pie each.
Oh, how many birdies are you going to get? That's the real question.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because you're not eating all the pies.
To be honest, I'm not actually having that many birdies at the moment. I played on Friday, and I think was it 1 birdie, 1 bogey? No, 2 birdies, 2 bogeys. I love a par.
2 pies for you.
Thanks for coming. I just cannot shoot under par.
Breaking par season coming up.
I can get level par, 1-2 over, not a problem.
Yeah.
Like even if I start, like Fleetwood aside, if I start and I'm like 6 over through 6, it doesn't matter. I'll get back to level. There's no dramas.
So you've got that.
There's
There
no
is,
dramas.
yeah.
So why don't you? So you know the bit where you're 6 over and you get back to level. That means that you must have at least got 6 birdies. So why don't you just sack off that bit where you start 6 over and just start
Do
with
that
6
bit.
birdies?
I just don't understand. I mean, listen, this is a very difficult thing to understand how my mind works. I'm not sure. Like even when I was playing with my dad on Friday, I birdied the 3rd. It's like, all right, that's pretty good. Bogeyed the 4th. Of course I did. It's like instantaneous.
Are you Tommy Fleetwood?
Wow.
It's brutal.
Yeah, he
Does
did
it all
you
the
Poor
really
time.
Tommy. I thought you used to like Tommy
I
Fleetwood.
love Tommy Fleetwood, which
doesn't
is why
sound
that
like it.
makes it even harder to watch.
Tommy, that meet-up I arranged with Jacobs.
Yeah.
Cancel.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about it anymore.
You don't need to come to his birthday anymore.
We are playing at Stand Golf Club with the next event, and then straight after that, we're going to Close House to play with Lee Westwood, which is very exciting.
Tour Pro season continues.
On my notes, I have this. What are you talking about with this?
Oh yes, so on socials, the Rough Cut Rounds series is continuing. There's only 2 matches up. The 3rd one's going up this week.
What's that one?
It's me versus Jacob 2.
Where can people find this?
They can find them on social. So if you go to the Rough Cut Golf Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok, you can see our ongoing series between the 3 of us. And whoever wins gets to take on Pete in a match play challenge for his car, which is really quite good.
It's so exciting.
No, it's not for the car. But basically, it's a chance for us to play some golf on the socials. And currently, I'm winning.
Well, we're gonna do another rematch of our one.
Yeah.
Because we did ours at Reddish and
Yeah.
it was not great.
Well, the first one went fine. The second one, we played down the 3rd of the 3 holes.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
And
Yeah,
then we were like, oh, God, I've got a really tough shot into the green. And then we looked to the right, and it was actually 40 yards short, and it was a temporary. So we sacked that one off.
Yeah.
We're going to do our second one again. But mine and Jacob's second one is coming out this week.
Yeah, we had to refilm that one as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, we filmed, so the first one that came out from our matches, obviously is out on there now. Mick won. And then the second set we did, I won in inverted commas because we eventually finished the 3 holes and we were driving home and I just turned to Mick and I went, "You're supposed to have a shot on me, aren't you?" And it was like, oh yeah. And it realised that the hole that I won to go 2 up should have been tied because he had a shot. So it should have been 1 up to me going down the last. Yeah. So we thought
we messed up the format a little bit, but
yes, we did.
The new one's coming out soon.
We're learning.
It's not as easy as it looks, is it?
It's not.
It's not.
It's not like we've been doing this for X amount of years.
I tell you what, no pies for us.
No.
Yeah. See, the thing is, when you're behind the camera and you're focused on the shot and you're getting all that beautiful footage, you don't think about the intricacies of actually playing golf.
You don't.
It's like Sam when he comes to film. He like looks up after 2 hours. It's like, is this the 6th hole?
Yeah.
He does.
It's the 14th, Sam.
Yeah.
He does, yeah.
What's happened?
We always say this, that if you're doing behind the ball, you kind of get to watch the round. But if you're doing second cam, which we call fancy because it's a very fancy camera, you never get to see where the ball goes. So you get to see Pete swing or whoever we're filming with swing, and you're like, oh, that looked really good. Got it in 60. It looks great. Really nicely framed.
I've walked off a golf course and just gone,
what happened?
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Because
that's why I say, I did this on the 8th, and you two, Pete and Kieran will be there. Oh yeah, you did that hit 54 in, and I'm just there like,
oh no,
don't remember
I was hiding in a bush at that point.
yeah, I was behind a tree, just like
no idea what that was. Yeah.
No, shooting through things.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
It is the way to go.
But I will give you, it is much harder to actually hit the golf shots than film the golf shots. So, Lee Westwood, we're going to go and film with Lee Westwood. However, you reckon you're going to beat him? We're going to go match play, yeah?
Yeah, match play. I think I've got a good chance.
Okay, very brave of you.
Of playing him at match play.
Oh yeah, playing him. Yeah, it's booked.
Yeah, it's booked. Like, hopefully we will go ahead.
There's a good chance it's happening.
It's going to be a good one actually, because like Lee, in the last few weeks, we're filming with Podrick Harrington, and now I'm going to be filming with Lee Westwood. Now, Lee Westwood is this is someone who I've watched growing up. You know, someone who was very much like an inspiration to start playing, someone I was always rooting for. So to actually be able to film and play against him is going to be very, very cool.
Former number 1.
Former number 1, yeah. Am I right in thinking that maybe it's not the last time you filmed with him, but especially one of the times you filmed with him, someone almost died?
Yeah.
Oh, with Rick.
Yeah, we filmed Smash the... It was kind of like a Smash the Glass.
Was that the last time
thing.
you saw him?
No, I've seen him.
Times.
I've seen him since things. Yeah, seen him since things. Good use of words.
Things have happened. Yes.
Good job. This is a video, right? Not an audio. And yeah, it was. He just hit the frame and almost like took an old man out on the side of the range.
Yeah, I remember tracking it down for the 10 years on YouTube video, and it was. You see it hit the frame and fly off, and then you just see you lot go, oh my god.
Yeah, it was pretty rapid. That chappie was not happy. He was a member at Royal Wimbledon, though. Oh.
Is that the noise he made?
Yeah, you could see though, like he hit the frame and it flew towards him, and you could tell he was really, really angry, like angry in a way that only really posh people could get.
Ripped off his ascot.
No, like when like. Get so really so enraged that can't speak. But you can see he kind of looked over and saw it was Lee Westwood and had a real moment of,
am I going to shout
at
him?
Should I shout at him? Mm-hmm. And then he like looks at us two. I think he was going to shout at us two instead, like blame us for what Lee did. But yeah, he didn't. We ended up hitting that frame quite a few times. Yeah. I think the organisers, I think it was FootJoy kind of back in the day. And when you could see they were getting a bit nervous.
Yeah.
Because when it hit the frame, it kind of flew back.
Yeah.
That was pretty quick.
That was like us when we did that NFL filming into that tiny little net.
Oh my God.
And we were getting these
Honestly.
360-pound, 6'7" linemen trying to hit a golf ball. And I think it was the first guy of the day, like, skied it. And it went out of the stadium. And me and Peter looking at each other like, we're not going to come back again. This is terrible. I can't do this.
This is good. I think at the time I was like, you know what? We're on the NFL ticket here. Like, we ain't going to get sued.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
There's a Pontiac in the car park with a golf ball.
The problem with it is we'd given the idea and said what we wanted to do, and they were like, "Yep, perfect, great." But then they were the ones that provided the equipment to do it.
Right.
Yeah. And when we turned up, and they were like, "Oh, we've got the net," so we thought, "Oh, well, it's going to be like a big, big old thing that
Foresight type job."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nope. It was little. Couldn't even play 5-a-side in it. It was tiny.
It was a man with a fishing rod, just like really
catching
hoping.
balls. Yeah.
So you're going to play against Lee Westwood, who has appeared in 11 Ryder Cups and won 24 points in match play.
How many matches has he lost in the Ryder Cup, did it say?
I probably can find it.
Because I don't want to brag, but I've never lost in the Ryder Cup.
For God's sake, I was actually looking for it as well.
That'd be good to know.
So, I mean, I think it's pretty even.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty even right now. The only advantage that Lee has is it's at Close House, a course which I have never, ever even sniffed playing well at.
Yeah. This is definitely you coming in as an American vibe. He's got home course advantage. He knows where he's playing. It's not a course that you're particularly favourable at, and but we'll see.
I've never figured it out. I think I've played there like 3-4 times, and every time I play it, it pickles my brain for some reason.
It's really hilly, isn't it? It's like proper hilly. Is it tight?
In places, but there's a few holes which are very wide as well. There's a few tight ones, but like it's relatively long off the backs. It should, realistically, I should play quite well there, but I just never have. I don't know why.
Okay, Lee Westwood's singles record at the Ryder Cup.
Hear me.
Played 11. Won 4, lost 7.
Oh,
so
not good 1v1.
Basically, you're saying that I'm hot favourite. Right?
It'll be a good match. He'll beat you. He can beat you.
I think we can safely assume that that's going to be the case. But I'm just going to try and hold him back as long as possible.
So I think your job is to try and make the video as long as you can make it.
No gimmies.
100%.
No gimmies. That's a Podrick thing, that, isn't it?
100%.
No gimmies. And that's the thing. Like last week, literally filmed with. Well, last week, a couple of weeks ago, filmed with Podrick. Like these kind of chances to film with these guys just kind of becoming more and more available now. It's great.
Yeah, very good. The world of professional golf is opening its arms to the internet finally, evidenced quite recently in the Myrtle Beach Q.
The Q,
where they invited all of the YouTubers to come and do golf. Have you seen that? You've seen that George Bryan, even though he didn't win, still gets to play. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about that?
Yeah.
I feel fantastic about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Happy for him?
Delighted for him, yeah. Why would I not be delighted for him?
Well, no, obviously it's great that he gets to do it, but like, this is the question that you were talking about earlier. If it was you who lost in the playoff, do you think they would have chucked you an exemption to get in?
Ooh. That's a very good question. One which obviously I don't know the answer to.
I'll give you mine, just as I think about it. I don't think they would have.
I'll give you your exemption.
No, yeah, I know. I was there.
I've got an exemption.
No, I don't think they would have done it.
You don't think they would?
I don't think they'd have done it.
I mean, there's a few things maybe on both sides. First of all, George and Wes are ambassadors of Play Golf Myrtle Beach now, which is fantastic. And George is a very good player who's made the cut on the PGA Tour before. If it was the case, I made the playoff, didn't get through, they gave it to me, I'm a little bit more of an unknown commodity in that regard. But I don't know. I mean, it's a question which I would like to have posed, but to be able to pose that question, I need to play better and get in these playoff places. To be honest, I would like to think that they'd give it to somebody, and I'm really happy they've given it to George.
I know, it's great that it's happened. Yeah, for sure. It almost to me seems like maybe they kind of shown their hand of what they wanted to happen from this event, in that they were hoping a YouTuber would go through, and then from doing this, they have kind of had both things happen. Not to say, that was the case, but it just kind of seemed like they were just given the opportunity to kind of do it, I think, and maybe it worked out nicely for everyone.
I think the way I saw it is they had obviously 8 YouTubers, social media people, 8 pros, really good players, obviously amateur in there as well, 15-year-old lad. And it was kind of like, for me, it felt like they just wanted a bit of insurance because what they didn't want to happen was for loads of YouTubers to be in there, and then whoever won the queue got through like a 78, and then the organisers would have been like, "Oh no, what's this guy going to shoot in the event?"
Yeah, with a winning score of 11 over.
Yeah, like that could have worked in a negative way. So I think just to be safe, they had other people in there as well.
It was a great way to do it.
Yeah, but I think next time, to be honest, I do assume there will be a next time, is that they will have a qualifier, and in that qualifier, they will only have kind of YouTubers and social media people. I think they feel a bit more safe about it now. Because I think originally, if you're giving the sponsors exemption away, you can give that away to whoever you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But from an appearance standpoint, I think they just wanted to make sure that people knew the person getting through really did deserve to be there. So I imagine it will change in the future. If not, fine. It's still a great event. But as far as George is concerned, happy for him.
And his brother's playing as well.
Yeah.
So
that's true. Yeah.
So it should be pretty good.
There's plenty of creators as well. Like if they do go that way of just making it solely YouTubers and stuff, there's plenty of guys obviously that didn't play that can come in. Is there anyone that you think was deserving maybe the first time round, but definitely should be there this time?
I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of good players. So from like the people kind of we know, obviously, if Rick got an invite just simply because of his size and kind of the reach he has, I think that's a bit of a no-brainer.
Very tall and long arms.
If he'd actually play and accept it, I don't know, because like competition golf is not something he particularly enjoys, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Fryer, obviously, great player. What he's like in the last time I played in Fryer with the competition was a disaster.
That was a pairs thing, though.
Yeah,
wasn't
that
it?
was the
Yeah,
Sunningdale
but
thing.
he lost focus after 3/4 of one hole.
It's not surprising, to be completely honest.
Literally walking down the first, you could see he just checked out. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So yeah, Fryer, very good player. Carter's great player. There's a lot of kind of UK-based people who would love to go over. The Bullard, yeah.
And there's a few like good, none of good but there as well. So you've got to think those as well.
Like, you could have probably a 25 to 30 person strong field.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And make it like a really good event.
Yeah.
Like really good. And I think...
And hire us to film it.
And edit it.
Jacob can edit it and do the voiceovers.
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe they would just learn from the positives and the negatives that they found with that first one.
Yeah, 100%.
So, no, I think it will carry on.
Well, the good news is that even though you didn't win the queue and get into the tournament, you are still going to be attempting to make the cut, because our video that comes out Saturday morning-ish is putting you up against the field playing in the event anyway. So if you're if you wanted to see Pete in the event, you kind of get to see it anyway, because we filmed it and edited it, and we're going to chop it as if Pete's playing in the actual broadcast.
Yeah, so we filmed at the Dunes course where the event's at, and then we are going to take whatever the cut mark, whatever the... Well, there was sort of level after the first round.
I think what we said we were going to do was that you were going to play from wherever the kind of cut line was set was going to kind of be on that day, and then you'll go from there.
Can't remember, I was so in the zone. And then we played around.
Quite a long time ago.
Then we played around, and yeah, let's see if we made the cut. But that's coming out on Saturday.
We've done a few of those before as well. We've done Abu Dhabi was a big one. That was brilliant.
Yes, thanks. That was good.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
That was Chip and Sandy, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was brilliant. We did.
That was the debut, I
Hashtag bring
think.
back in the comments. In the comments, bring back Chip and Sandy.
Yeah, Dundonald.
And we done another one.
Yes.
We did it at
we filmed all of it in America.
Ral Khaimah.
Ras Al Khaimah.
We were there. That was when we
Ras
lost
Al
all
Khaimah.
of Pete's balls the day before.
Yeah. That's so funny that.
Which did I make the? Didn't make the cut of that one. I made the cut at Yes. Didn't I?
Yes.
But only because.
No.
Only because.
Don't say it.
In real life, on the second day, they were in a blizzard. And we were in the stillest day possible.
Couldn't believe it. Like we finished filming, and I was like, "Oh, it'll be close," but realistic. I don't want to shoot a level par one.
Something like that.
It was all right. I played steady over a couple of days, and then it was literally after the first round. I was like, "Oh, no chance of making the call." Like these boys are just ripping this place apart, and then turned on the TV for the second round, and it was unbelievably windy. It was like sandstorms and like buildings were blowing down.
The windiest day Abu Dhabi have ever had.
Which, to be fair now, that you might have had sort of karma come back on yourself for this one, because you played in some very windy conditions for this one, and they might get slightly better. Have you seen George has put a couple of clips out of the course, and he said it's a lot lusher, a lot greener than when we were on it.
They played it was a one. They released it yesterday. Brian Bros 1v1 Wes and George
on the course.
I don't know if you guys have you watched it.
Not yet. No.
It's good. Yeah, it's very good.
It was when we played it, it hadn't been overseeded or anything like that. So I think the actual condition of the course, it will be be pristine. Like if they get it anything like TPC Myrtle Beach was, it'd be beautiful.
I mean, the greens were great when we were on them anyway.
Yeah, it looked good. Looked good.
So it'd be good. But yeah, I was struggling. Oh god, I had acid that day as well.
Oh yeah,
I might release the supercut of Pete's bowels making noises on the golf course.
That's because we had for breakfast. What was it like?
Bacon and grits.
We had a croissant, ham and cheese croissant, but then you got grits for the first time.
Yeah, but we also had that as well.
Yeah,
and it was nice. It was oily, and obviously oily is just not good for you.
It was a croissant, and like bacon and cheese.
Yeah,
but it was so it's butter
big as well.
Yeah.
So butter pastry. Pie's going to be a problem.
This is a bit of a theme on today's podcast.
Those pies are going to be a real problem.
Things like that just set me off. And even when I was eating this, like it was a croissant, cheese and ham, and then grits, which had loads of like butter in. Yeah. Even when I was eating it, I was like, "This is such a bad idea." I just kept eating it, and I was like, "Well, I need my strength." And I just kept eating.
Yeah, that's what does for your strength.
And as soon as I finished it, I was like, "Oh, that's so stupid! Such a bad idea." And then we got to about the fourth hole, and it just like hit me.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Yeah, so I tried very hard to cut out all of the kind of like gurgling and you complaining about your bottom and your stomach and all the things that you're complaining about. But hey, if you find them in there, well done. It's a where's Wally of is Pete going to throw up?
Yeah, I only did a little bit, mostly in my mouth, so we're okay. Don't you worry about it. That has set me in there. This weekend as well was my one of the Quest for the Open videos, which is coming up, is like training like Rory, train like a pro for a month.
Oh wow!
This weekend was my last.
As you had your
last blowout,
my last hurrah.
Yeah.
On Saturday night, just had a couple more, and I was like, you know what, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm settled. I'm ready.
Got to restrain yourself now, haven't you? Speaking of restraining yourself,
here we go.
We were actually in the news recently about some golfers who weren't restraining themselves using a potty mouth on the golf course. If you can find it on the internet somewhere, but the Harrington podcast from last week, Podrick talked about his perception of the kind of live golf players using some foul language on the golf course. I didn't expect to be on golf.com, if I'm completely honest with you, but we were there. There was, they linked to us as well, which was excellent. How do you feel about swearing on the golf course, Pete? Because we have seen in recent weeks, we've seen you play in a qualifier that at the queue where Jacob cut out 85% of your swearing and there was 15% in, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Peter Finch is swearing on his channel." How do you feel about it?
So, to put this in context, I mean, it did actually go a lot. So you said golf. I saw it in the Mirror, oddly enough, like UK newspaper, and then it was on Twitter. It was quite a few places about Podrick basically saying that it's just maybe gone a little bit too far as some of the outbursts on the golf course. I don't personally think, and obviously Kieran, you were there as well, it didn't feel like he was saying that you shouldn't swear on a golf course.
No, I didn't get it.
It was almost like in some respects it's gone a little bit too far. Yeah. And like the Masters was the example where he was talking about a few of the live guys who were like very much bursting out with these expletives.
At Augusta?
At Augusta, yes.
Wow.
The Green Jacket Brigade was not impressed.
Yeah.
I personally, it doesn't bother me that much. I think in some contexts it can be funny, and golf, as we all know, is an exceptionally frustrating sport, and I swear on the golf course sometimes just to relieve a little bit of tension. Sometimes it's just exasperation, sometimes it's self-loathing, sometimes I just fancy having a little bit of a swear. The difference is I tend to have a microphone here, so
correct,
it can be picked up quite a lot. Now, with the guys on Live, they don't wear microphones on Live, on the tour. They don't wear microphones, but there's boom mics all around. So if they do sway, they've got to be quite loud about it. And I think that's what Harrington was picking up on. And sometimes it feels maybe a few players do go out of their way to go over the top.
Yeah.
So that's maybe where I kind of net out on it. Personally, it doesn't bother me too much, but I can imagine some people being a little bit offended by it if you're watching it with your kids, say, as well.
Yeah.
Like, that might not be ideal. But for me, I'm pretty relaxed about it as long as people don't take the Mick with it.
I think what like Podrick said as well is that he was sort of saying that he doesn't mind about it, and he doesn't mind, you know, if someone's thrown a club, and he even said like, I'll even laugh if someone breaks a club at, you know, all he cares about is that it's not distracting him and it's not impeding him or impacting him in a way that, you know, he's now put off for the next shot because he's just chucked his club and it's gone near him or something like this, or he sweared loudly, you know, all these sorts of things that if it's done within themselves, like, he doesn't have a problem with it. That's what I got from it.
Yeah. It shouldn't. You shouldn't be so much that you put off the people around you. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, if you're whacking your back, I mean, I remember playing some junior tournaments, and like other kids were like just whacking the back, and you're like, whoa.
I'm trying to visualize my shot shape here, son.
So, you know, and you know, that's in the back of your mind a little bit. So, you know, as long as like if it's happening sort of within yourself and you're kind of keeping it controllable, which, and you know, you do sometimes swear on the golf course, but I don't think you're not being like loudmouth and you know, hearing about, you're kind of keeping it under your breath a little bit.
Yeah. There's only a few times in my life where I've actually kind of had any outward, which could be a distracting behavior to other players. Like, if I'm going to be angry, I'm angry at myself. I'm not going to do it elsewhere. But there was a playing a Jamaica Tour event, like literally on their first term pro. And one of the lads I was playing with, decent player, and he got to a hole where he just hit an iron off a tee and he hit it into some thick rough. Now, this lad had been a bit sweary during the round. He could tell I wasn't really that on board with him, to be honest. But he hit this iron, and then he set his trolley out in front of him, like a walking pace, like it was an electric trolley. Set it out in front of him. And he had his iron in his hand that he just hit the tee shot with. Literally, until he reached his ball, he was hitting his bag and like swearing alternately with every single swipe.
Bloody hell.
And at that point, I was like, he just looks like an idiot here.
Yeah.
Like, he just looks like an utter moron. And like you said, he's then putting other players off. And he was playing badly from that point. So his behavior got kind of worse and worse, swearing. Yes, like I said, T-self fine, whatever. But it was just so outrageous that he was behaving like such a petulant child.
Yeah.
It was putting other people off.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Tyrrell is on the Live Tour now, so...
Yeah.
But I mean, because that's the only time.
It wasn't him.
No, it wasn't Tyrrell. That's the only time I've actually put a complaint in about someone.
Oh, you actually? Oh, wow. Okay.
Because he got to the end, and the other lad who we were playing with, he had a bad shot on the last, and like, he wasn't very happy, and like, we all shook hands at the end, and this guy was a bit sad, and like, the other lad turned around to me, the one who'd been hitting his bag. He said, "Oh, he was a bit miserable, wasn't he?" And I was like, "Mate,
yeah,
that's not it."
Yeah.
And I went in and complained. I said, "I'm not.
Yeah.
I never put me out with him again."
I don't think that's a golf problem though. I think that's like an actual mental problem.
That's a him.
That's a him.
That's nothing to do with his golf. He probably had something going on. You know, he had grits that morning. He
Literally grit.
Yeah. That's.
It just puts you on edge. Like, you know, if someone was like that, you're like, what's he going to do next? You know, that's kind of what I'd be thinking.
Yeah.
One more bad shot. Is he going to come at me now? You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm joking. you know what I mean?
18th fairway.
Yeah,
What, son?
It's all context, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because every situation is going to be slightly different. I remember one of the captain's days down at the Shropshire. Like, we had a buggy out, and there was a member there who was a big lad, and he was at one point riding naked on top of the buggy, kind of led down.
Okay.
Now, you may be thinking that is disgraceful behaviour. But in the context of that day, the amount of amount of cider that was flowing on that golf course, that wasn't even the worst thing I saw.
Lord.
So it was kind of like, in that moment, it was stupid, it was unnecessary, but it was quite funny. Now, obviously, if you did that at the Masters, that's not a great look.
Yeah.
So it's all about context. Like you say, like bad behavior, bad etiquette, that's kind of universal. Like that's never going to be acceptable really in any situation. But there are some points where swearing and just letting your kind of hair down a little bit, it's fine. Like, it depends on who's watching. It depends on the context.
Yeah. Would you do it in front of your? Like I always think this about footballers who dive. You're like your gran's watching you roll around on the floor and like pretend to be injured when you're clearly not. Your gran's watching you spit on another player or swear at the ref or something. Like, have some self-respect, for God's sake.
No, I mean that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Let's get into diving.
Let's do it.
Retrospective fines and bans. That's what I say.
No wonder Ipswich got to the Premier League.
Yeah.
Bunch of cheats.
I think anyone who's like touched, like you see it all the time in slow motions. Like someone puts a hand across and like I palm Kieran off, and he goes out like gripping his face when I've like touched him there. That automatic 3-game ban, £200 fine.
He said it's this bit when it's like they're like that. Like
Yeah, I like it when they're like, am I bleeding? Like, you landed on the grass. Mr. Suarez.
And he hit you in the chin.
Yeah.
You're like looking at your eyes like, oh.
Yeah, I'm bleeding. Or the back of the head. It's fine.
Honestly, empower the referees. That's what I say.
Yeah. Send them all off.
Send them off. Oh, get them off.
Yeah. It will soon stop.
I've had enough. You're all going home.
Yeah.
I'm taking me ball. I'm going home.
Are we gonna talk about this here, or you want to save this?
What, for the Open?
Yeah, because that is some. We've got a little section about news. One of the things I saw on the news is that your favourite golf course that you're going to be qualifying to play on at the Open have made some ludicrous decisions about some hole lengths.
Ludicrous decisions. Yeah, they've upped it. I'm not going to lie. So the one thing you would say about Troon, actually, there are a few of the holes, especially on the front nine, that are very, very scoreable. So front nine going out, there's a lot of holes on there where you'd expect very good players to get birdies. If it's still as well, like they can tear it apart. The back nine, you've got to hold on a little bit more. But the 6th hole this year, they've extended it to 623 yards, which I believe is the longest par 5 in Open history.
That's absolutely absurd. How many shots are you on an average day at Troon in the wind? How many shots has it taken you to get remotely near the green? Not you.
I'm going to need near to 5 shots even to get close, I think. Am I in to win?
It's probably like 240
If it's
carry
in
to
to
the
win,
fairway.
I'm in trouble.
Prevailing winds off the right on that one.
Okay.
off the
It's
right.
off
Lord.
the right, so it's coming away from... Like,
Away from the sea.
okay. Yeah. I think 6 teed up, maybe.
Kieran, you've got length, so you'd
Yeah,
probably
well,
be fewer.
Kieran-
but
And Kieran hits it lower as well.
It all depends on the first drive. And
Yeah.
the if I'm in play on the first, then I'm good.
If you're hacking it out the weeds, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Difficulty with that as well. It's got some. It's like a little valley kind of hole, so it's very inviting on the tee shot. But the second shot, well, probably second and third shot, they're all kind of uphill as well to that hole.
Okay.
So it's not easy playing a kind of 500 yards. Never mind 623.
And it's all rubbish at the right. I mean, I've seen you at some great drives on that hole, but then also some wayward ones.
I've been to the right on that hole
yeah,
a few
you've been
times.
right.
Was that the hole that you had like an 8 or a 9 on when we did the...
Playing with Hannah Hold'em.
Yeah. Was it that hole? Or was that the 7?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it was this hole.
You've got to remember
Sore
these
memories.
things. You've got to learn from them.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
don't do that.
Yeah, 2 right. I think we did find your second one, but yeah, the first one was
It was
right.
Which is weird because you now are hooking your. Let's not talk about it.
Now my missus left. Listen, nothing but not consistent. And they've moved like the least yardage that the postage stamp can play is going to be 99 yards, so just under 100.
How do you feel about like really short par threes? They had one at LACC, didn't they? It was
I love
80
it.
something.
It's my favourite kind.
Yeah.
It,
Like everyone's got short wedge.
every par 3 should be between 100 and 170 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be any. There's no need to make them any further. Just make them more interesting.
And go on.
No par 3 should start with a 2.
Absolutely not.
No par 4 should start with a 4. And no par 5 should be anything more than 500 yards.
No par 4 should start with a 5. That's our
No par 4 should start with a 5, and no par 5 should start with a 6.
Yeah.
Like, just make it simple.
Which the timing of you saying that is Frank the fact that I'm editing the Pinehurst #2 video, which is coming out the week before the US Open. And it's just like literally for the whole of that edit, when I'm doing like the flyovers and putting in the graphics in, the number when you look at it and go, that should be a par 5, just take one down, because it just never is.
Yeah.
242 yards. Oh, that's probably like a really good drivable par 4. No, par 3.
540-yard par 4.
Honestly,
up the hill to the left.
I could not believe when we played that.
The clip is great on the tee.
It's a tricky start. I don't know if I actually said this on the podcast yet, but like it's a 380-yard par 4 to start. A little bit downhill, fine. Next hole's about 500-yard par 4.
Yep.
That's 480, something like that. Tricky, but I think it would drive a 5-iron maybe.
Yes, it was, yeah.
And then the next hole's like a 380-yard par.
Yeah, but again,
shorter actually, 360.
Actually, 380, but like still a hard hole in terms of your tee shot. And
but like the first 3 holes, I'm like,
okay.
Is this it?
Is this
all
it?
you
Is
can
this
conjure,
all you
Saddleman?
can conjure, Saddleman?
Yes, Bernard Hill. Go on the Bernard.
You don't need to attack the microphone.
Sorry, I thought it was an orc.
Is that partly because you parred the first 3 holes as well?
Yeah,
So
obviously.
you're like, oh well, this is easy. This is easy.
No spoilers.
Martin Keimer, come on then.
So I was like, okay, that's fine. You know what? Maybe I'm just playing well. Like maybe I'm just getting used to Pinehurst.
Am I him?
Yeah. Am I him? Is Martin Keimer in me? Okay. And then we kind of went down to the right-hand side to this this tee. And it was like 540 yards. I was like, right, okay, got a chance.
Yeah.
It's got a scoring chance.
Yep.
And I'm like, right, okay, so I'll have a look at it. And then starts talking, and it's a par 4.
Yep.
It's a 540-yard par 4.
Yep.
Uphill.
To
the left.
The best one was on like 12, I think. And we get onto the tee, and Mitchell's like looking through the book, and you go something like, oh, it's a 520-yard par 4, and he goes like, no, it's about 610 or something like ridiculous, and you just like turn to Kieran in the camera, just like, what? And then he corrects himself. But I showed it to you guys. It's really funny. But that video, this is the beauty of when we go away on these trips. Now we're talking about videos that are not even coming out until like 2 weeks time. We're like, but that's coming out before the US Open, so check out
that does lead on to another point of news, is that Mr. Tiger Woods has just been handed a ticket to that tournament.
Yeah.
Well, I think I've heard actually he's stocking the shop at Pinehurst with his new gear.
Oh, for God's sake.
So
No
it's both going to be I don't know.
Collaboration tournament.
He's going to be bagging both Pinehurst and him about $1 billion in sales.
That's 4 T-shirts, I think.
I think so. Maybe just under 3.5 T-shirts.
That stuff's so expensive.
Anyone wanting to buy any Sunday Red stuff?
I'll be honest, I didn't. When I found out the drop was happening, I went on 2 hours later, and a lot was already gone. Your classic red polos were gone. Everything was kind of your white blacks, maybe some like athleisure stuff that was left, but not really any golf related things.
Tees,
some $50 ball markers,
$50 ball marker,
which was cheaper, more expensive than some of the hats. I think. I don't necessarily dislike it. I just still can't. I know this is a correlation that people have said forever, but like I can't stop seeing Slazenger.
Yeah.
I keep seeing the Slazenger, like, and I'm sure Slazenger's a global thing, right? Will everyone know what Slazenger is?
I think so, yeah.
We were speaking to this in the golf course. I don't think they do.
No,
I don't think people in America. I don't think
they don't
so.
have Sports Direct there.
If Kieran puts up a logo now, or if you are listening and you don't know what Slazenger is, just search Slazenger logo and you'll see what we mean. It's basically like the Sunday Red is like the skeleton of the Slazenger.
Yeah. This is with the meat on the bones.
Yeah.
It's just a dead Slazenger.
That's all you are.
It's the carcass of the Slazenger.
Well, I think
from the ashes of the Slazenger.
I think Slazenger it's not like it's just a golf. It's not golf specific. I
No,
think
they do
Slazenger's tennis.
Oh, it's
cricket,
it does everything.
loads of stuff.
Oh, it does everything.
I know, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean with that logo. It is just, I mean, golf clothing generally is probably higher priced than other garments out there, and it is what it is. But it is pretty expensive.
Oh yeah,
like for what it seemingly is, and obviously it's tiny.
Yeah. Speaking about apparel as well, your the T-shirt you wore for the qualification thing. With the squiggly lines.
Yeah.
The amount of people I had message me about that shirt is unbelievable. Like 5, 6, that's quite a lot. For just one shirt.
Yeah.
I was like,
you've only got 2 followers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They liked it.
Yeah. And they were like, where can I buy it? And
really?
then I said,
Okay.
just go on the FootJoy website. And then I'm pretty sure Footjoy doing like
doing
a
a giveaway.
giveaway for it. I was like, that's mad. It's so cool.
it's very. I mean, FootJoy have done some stuff in the past that isn't very FootJoy, but this is kind of the first time they brought something out, even just in their like standard summer line, where it's actually a little bit more for them, like a bit more out there. Maybe you wouldn't look at it and go, "Oh, that's a FootJoy shirt," which is great.
Yeah. They say it right at the start, didn't they? That's the first thing I said to you.
Yeah, you did.
6 o'clock in the morning. That's a
yes.
nice shirt.
You did.
Well done,
You can get it in different colours as well if you want to go on the website and check it out.
I was way too tired and paranoid to believe you that point in the morning.
Yeah.
Like you just come out of your hotel room that time in the morning, you're tired, you're like, oh God, I'm not had a coffee yet. And Kieran's bright as a button. Little Frodo Baggins at the door.
Yeah. Is he just filling me with optimism for the rest of today, or does he actually like this t-shirt?
No, I liked it.
I've come out and I'm like, I feel like crap. There's no way I look good right now. Let me get to
camera in your
I
face.
want a coffee.
It was all candid as well. Like, it was none of it planned.
Yeah.
It was,
I agree. It looks good. So go FootJoy, not Sunday, right?
yeah, sorry. I just wanted to.
Also,
it just strikes me.
Also much more affordable.
Yeah.
Very
You
much.
can get that for a normal price.
Obviously, one of the when you're buying clothing and stuff like that, I need to get into the nitty gritty of it. But like we haven't held one, we haven't seen what the quality's like. We don't know how good or bad it is if it's just sort of sticking logos on some t-shirt. When you have those t-shirts, you stick them in the wash and they get smaller by one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm that's just putting on weight, mate.
Is that what that's called?
Trust me, my washing machine's shrinking everything at the moment.
He's using butter pie as detergent.
I am going to get it looked at because something's going wrong. It's disgraceful.
Can't be you.
Can't be me, mate.
Why does all of my washing smell like grease?
Yeah. Anyway, so
Good Lord.
I've lost the thread of thought.
Do you want some
What
good?
was I
Do you want
talking
some good news? The bad news is that the Sunday Red stuff that everyone wanted is really unaffordable and no one should buy it because it's overpriced. The good news is that Finno, who is Tommy Fleetwood's caddy, who we didn't see for a while and was a little bit of a worry about because he didn't caddy at the Masters when we were expecting to see them together. Like you expect them to see, to be there and running that tournament run together. He wasn't there because he was ill. It turns out he was much more than ill.
Yeah.
And he has had open heart surgery, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
Wild, yeah.
But you got in touch and you said, "Hope you're doing okay." And he seemed good.
Yeah. No, I've known him. I've known Finno for a while, but it was more. I kind of messaged because I saw that and I was like, as far as everyone was aware, he just had like a chest infection.
Yeah.
So I messaged him. I was like, looks a bit more serious than a chest infection, mate. And he was just saying, him and told me, I wanted to kind of keep it under wraps because I didn't want kind of the attention and all the rest of it. And then I think he said 9 hours, like open heart surgery.
Good Lord.
Which is massive amount. He said he's feeling good and he's kind of hoping to get back to everything in the summer. So,
Wow. Well, get well soon.
get well, mate.
Yeah,
well.
definitely.
A hell of a scar.
Yeah, very
Serious
good.
scar, yeah.
Now, the only other thing that we've got on here, apart from guest to player, is about some of the live boys getting exemptions to the PGA.
Excellent. I can pick Neiman again.
we can set what? Not Gooch.
Oh, is he in it?
Taylor Gooch,
Oh,
the
well.
best ball striker of our
You
generation.
don't even need to listen to the preview then, or just Taylor Gooch right here.
Just
right
assume
now.
that Jacob has.
Actually, no, saying that, I'm being completely stupid. Who won on Live last week?
Brooks Koepka.
What major's coming up soon?
PGA Championship.
Put that one in.
Imagine being a specialist in the worst major in golf.
Oh my God. Clip it. Wow. Wow.
Imagine like gearing yourself up to win the US PGA.
Why doesn't he just play that well at Augusta or at the Open?
Yeah, why did he do
I mean,
that?
he did last year.
Why doesn't he just win something that matters?
Nearly won it.
Why
Nearly won the Masters
does
last
he
year.
only win the Chop Fest?
Whack and chop.
I'm sure Valhalla.
What was the winning score last year? Like
don't know.
4 under.
No, he only shot 4 under at US PGA. That's disgraceful.
Anyone else?
He needs to up his game.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean he's clearly going to win. So
Yeah. We got a few. I mean, we'll get into it. Obviously, but Michael Block obviously got his exemption from last year. He's going to be back. So I'm interested in how he does.
it's tricky, isn't it? Because there's no doubt that I'll include Gooch within this, despite his propensity to stick his foot in poo and then put it in his own mouth.
He's very flexible.
He's exceptionally flexible, but some of the stuff he says. Anyway, but he's a very good player, so I'll include Gooch in this. Neiman, obviously Brooks is in anyway. I think
Would Phil Mickelson be in there?
David Poog, I think.
Oh yeah,
Phil Mickelson,
I think
yeah.
Phil will be in there for
Past
past
champions.
So there's people who get
Bryson, is he on his still on his?
on his
This is
exemption.
his
Wow.
last. I think this is his
one.
last year.
Yeah, but surely from the Masters.
Did his finish get him in?
Surely, got to.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think with all the
Surely.
majors
Yeah.
are slightly confusing because there are different exemption categories,
Oh,
like
so many.
past winners, obviously world ranking.
Yeah.
There's something about special invites to players who haven't been playing in the events which would accrue world ranking points, which would put them in position to qualify for a major automatically. Majors are a bit weird,
Yeah.
because in my head, majors are the pinnacle of professional men's golf and professional women's golf. Like, to get into these events, there's something about me that doesn't like the idea of an invite. Like, you should qualify for these events on merit. Now, if you agree or don't agree that live golfers should get world ranking points, that's a kind of slightly different situation. The fact is, they're not playing in events which will give them the world ranking points to automatically get in.
Yeah.
So I don't really feel like you should get a special invite, like Tiger for the US Open at Pinehurst. I want to see Tiger play every day of the week if I could, but I don't think he should get a special exemption to play in the US Open.
Yeah.
Because he's not been playing golf.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the argument for that is, like, is he then taking a spot away from someone who could have qualified to get in, who is playing good golf, who isn't going to just last 2 rounds, arbitrarily hack it round and then go home whinging about his ankle?
I mean, the only event that is purely invite only, technically, is the Masters. Like, they can invite anybody who want. They have their own criteria and all the rest of it. But US PGA, so you can qualify that as a PGA professional in the US. You can go through kind of competitions like that's how Michael Block got in last year. US Open, you can go through US Open qualifying. Obviously, the Open Championship, the British Open, you can qualify through that as well, which we're trying to make videos about. So there's routes into these events. There's just something about an invite to a major that I'm not 100% sure about.
Do you not think that they're trying to, like, they're being like, oh, right, these guys are, not involved in the world golf rankings and stuff like this, but they are probably some of the best golfers in the world. Should we invite them to these sorts of things?
Yeah. But then it's a judgment. Like, someone on a committee then is saying, okay, so Taylor Gooch, I think he's a really good player. He should get an invite.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, well, okay, fine. He is a good player. And, he's probably one of the best players in the world. He's one of the best ball strikers of our generation. So maybe he should have a place.
Yeah.
But at the same time, maybe he should play in events that are going to qualify for the event.
Yeah. No,
You knew what you were signing up for.
Yeah, well, right.
You knew what you were signing up for.
Which, again, I am willing to have the conversation about if Live Play should get world ranking points, because I think they should in some regard. But they don't.
Yeah.
So they can't qualify through that.
So I've found the PGA Championship exemptions. Obviously, like lots of previous winners. So previous winners, last 5 Masters winners, last 5 US Open winners, last 5 Open winners, Players Championship, last 3, all the way down, bang, bang, bang. I didn't know that Ryder Cup, if you are named in a Ryder Cup team, get automatically in.
Wow, didn't know.
Which is really good.
The PGA of America, like the European Tour, control the Ryder Cup Europe team.
Yeah.
They're kind
Ish.
of ish, you know
Yeah.
what I mean. The US PGA is the same for the Ryder Cup team
Right.
in the US.
Okay,
So
so-
it's not owned by the PGA Tour.
Stipulation number 12, which might mean that George Bryan gets into the PGA. Winners of PGA Tour co-sponsored or approved tournaments whose victories are considered official, from the 2023 Charles Schwab through to the 2024 Wells Fargo and the 2024 Myrtle Beach Classic. Go on, George.
Could you imagine?
And then number 14, the PGA of America reserves the right to invite additional players not included in the categories listed above, i.e. Taylor Gooch.
Taylor
Well,
Gooch
it's
exemption.
just making the field legitimate now, isn't it? Because I mean, whoever won, you can't really. It's an asterisk, isn't it? Because if Taylor Gooch isn't there, then
Yeah, that makes sense.
So is that past champions like similar to the Masters? Like once you've won it, you can play.
They tell you, they
Oh,
invite
right,
you,
okay.
or
Okay,
they, you get in.
So is that
That's
all,
how Tiger's getting him.
all past champions of the
Of the
PGA?
PGA.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay, right. So,
So, like, in some regards, I think that's fine, really, for me, because generally, if you're going to win that event, you're going to be a very,
So
very
why
good
do
player.
they need the special exemption then?
No, that's for the US
Tigers
Open.
for the US Open.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So the US Open, we were talking about this earlier, is an open event, so technically anyone can qualify for it.
Oh, I see what you
so
mean.
the controversy is like, does that mean that someone else can't qualify because he gets in?
Yeah, every single major has different criteria on how to get in.
Yeah.
And I think that's good in some ways, and probably in this respect, I'm not sure. It feels a bit weird, but it's nothing to do with us. And let's say Gooch, Neiman, like they're up there at the end of the week, then fair enough, probably the right decision. But it is that idea that somebody decides to give the invitation rather than it's earned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel a bit strange.
I know what you mean.
Someone who has got a special exemption into a very, very hotly contested tournament is the Discord, and they have a special exemption into Guess the Player. Hello, and welcome back to the 2024 Rough Cut Open, the game where your knowledge of golf history is more important than your ability to actually hit the ball. How the game works. At the end of each episode, I describe the life and career of a famous golfer, and after each clue, these accomplished professionals write down who they think it is. However many hints it takes them to get home is how many shots they took on that hole. So, if you get a par 5 after just 4 clues, you would finish that hole in 1 under par. Here are the current standings. Let's rejoin the action as the players tee off. Here we are playing a par 5. And when I put the call out on Discord, I did in fact say we need someone who drives the ball long, straight, is very good around the greens. You don't necessarily need to be a very good putter.
I'm going to put this par 5 at 650 yards because I think Mick might be a bit butthurt after the last couple of weeks of getting hole-in-ones.
Yeah, it did take me back to the first season of Guess the Player where you were just getting them all in 1 or 2 shots every single time. So, which I don't like.
What is the par at the moment? Like, are we on for a good par?
It's going to be like par 85 or something.
Right. I was going to say, yeah.
You don't find this up?
No,
Is this not 72?
No, it'll be the same as last year because I'm using the exact same. Each hole is the exact same par.
Right. Okay.
So we'll be the same as last year.
Okay.
Excellent. If you're playing along at home, if you're in the car or whatever, don't write in the comments if you're in the car. It's very dangerous. Comment below at what shot you got who today's player is. Shot number 1. This player was born in Midwest City, Oklahoma on November 14th, 1991. This player was born in Midwest City, Oklahoma on November 14th, 1991.
What's that, 24?
Kieran's trying to do maths over there, so that's...
Doing that mathing thing.
The maths ain't maths in. You've just gone straight for it. He's put it...
I don't know. I'm happy with my name.
You've written a golfer.
You're happy with your name?
Yeah. And the guy I've written down as well.
Jacob Broadbridge is a very nice name.
Can you tell my full name, please?
Jacob Eric
Well done.
Allen the Broadbridge the 5th.
When did you write this? Just so I know. When did you write this?
It's quite an old one.
Quite an old one.
Yeah, I did it a couple of weeks ago. I just hadn't Discorded it yet. So I Discorded it this morning. And Baden, who played today's hole, who was actually played one right at the beginning of this round as well. I caught him on his way into a job interview. So
Good luck.
Well, that being said, he did this player, Guess the Player. Then he went into his job interview, and then he messaged me afterwards. He got the job.
Oh.
Very well done.
Well done, sir.
What, knew instantly?
Yeah. They were like, yeah, we'll have you.
Fair play.
So well done. He did Guess the Player for us, and then he went and got another job.
What job must that have been that they gave it him on the spot?
Or how good was he?
He works at a golf course.
What skill did he demonstrate in
He
that
just
interview?
walked in, they were like, yes.
Hero.
I just got a birdie on Guess the Player. Oh, there you go. Get the job.
Wow.
Excellent. Shot number 2. This player played on the PGA Tour Canada in 2015 and 2016. This player played on the PGA Tour Canada in 2015 and 2016.
We need a list of like who we've had. They're like written down so we can see because I can't remember if we.
No, you can't have it written down.
It's all about remembering the clubs that you hit in certain holes.
Yeah. God.
15, 16.
I can do that. I can do that very well actually.
Well, what golfers have we had so far?
I don't know. I can do clubs, and yeah.
There's no. Yeah.
This round we have
I'm just going to keep it.
Aberg, Day, Mickelson, Westwood, Neiman, Stewart, Schauffele, Scheffler, Rahm, Korda, Horschel.
Nice.
That name wasn't written down.
Well done, Kieran. That's kind of like you got like a really weird free drop out of the trees that you weren't supposed to get.
Yeah.
Shot number 3. In the 2017-2018 season of the PGA Tour, this player made 12 cuts in 27 events with a best finish of T13 at the Wells Fargo Championship. In the 2017-2018 season of the PGA Tour, this player made 12 cuts in 27 events with a best finish of T13 at the Wells Fargo Championship.
Well, it's definitely not the name of the guy I've got.
I told you it was.
Yeah.
I told you
He's
it was
woke
a
up
tough one.
angry.
Yeah, it's a three-shot par five.
I told you you got to be long and straight.
I think they're really good clues.
So far, they've been very statistical.
Yeah.
I don't think these have given us any opportunities to go for the green.
No.
Oh,
No, it's a layup every.
What?
It's a 3-shot.
I like them.
Well, you know age, you know where they're from, you know like what time they qualified to play on the PGA Tour.
So far, we have.
You know they're not a like major winner. You know they're not like top 10.
How do we not know that?
Because in their their highest win was
In that season.
was T13.
Yeah, in that season.
In one specific season.
Right.
So far, we've had they're born in the middle of America.
Yeah.
They've played on Canadian PGA Tour, and they've played at the Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
And made a few cuts.
Came
In 1 year.
Yeah, 12 out of 27 cuts.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Cool.
cool.
Yeah, you should have it by now.
And if you don't have it,
So this is the birdie that I should be on the green.
I did say that you don't have to be a good putter.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
We whacked
Their
it up there. And, yeah.
Shot number 4, and this will be for birdie. This player joined Live Golf Invitational Series in May 2022 and was Live Golf League's season-long points race winner in 2023, earning him an $18 million bonus.
His feet got it.
This player joined the Live Golf Invitational Series in May 2022 and was Live Golf League's season-long points race winner in 2023, earning him an additional $18 million bonus. Did you get him one? For God's sake, Peter Finch. For God's sake. I tried so hard to make it difficult as well.
So sorry.
Shot number 5. This is for par. If you don't get it on this one, you're going to be over par for the hole.
It's a 650-yard dog leg. I just went over the corner. I didn't know where the green was.
God's sake. Oh, I really hope you've got it wrong now. I really hope you've got it wrong.
I kind of hope I have as well.
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Shot number 5 for par. This player has a special invitation to play in this year's PGA Championship. If you have just listened to the entire podcast, that should be your tap-in.
Wait, what was that for? What was that for?
That was for par.
Ah, par.
I've not even played the hole badly.
Shot number 6. This is for 1 over. Will you stop dying in the background?
He's fuming.
When this player joined Live in 2022, they stated that the atmosphere was similar to a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup, despite having never played at either event. When this player joined Live in 2022, they stated that the atmosphere was similar to a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup, despite having never played at either event. So we know that they're controversial.
Yeah.
Bit stupid. Okay, this is the worst you can do, which is 2 over. So well done, everyone who has already got it. Next week, we're playing a 953-yard par 3.
Zigzag.
Yeah.
hole.
You play back towards yourself on the second shot.
It's a mini golf course. It's just gonna whack through a windmill.
Imagine the first shot next week. They were born.
Shot number 7 on the par 5. And it's the worst you can do. If this guy is not in the field, there will be an asterisk next to your major win. It's Taylor without the Y, Gooch. Congratulations. How did we all do? Did you get it in 1 again?
I got a birdie.
I got a par.
You birdied it. You got it in 1.
Numero uno.
For God's sake.
Honestly, that was like a proper.
You just wrote a name.
That was like proper middle of America, think Gooch was about that.
Yeah.
We just spoke about him.
Yeah.
Let's get him on the list, or there'll be an asterisk.
I mentioned this quite a few podcasts ago about how much weighting, or how much I felt I put too much weighting into like current affairs
That's what
of
I mean.
golf.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
so I've always just avoided that. And like in the recent like 4 weeks, it's literally been, so I'm still sticking, because next week I know I'll go back to it and it won't be right. But
Yeah, you're right, because next week's going to be a golfer you've never heard of.
Yeah.
I'm not even annoyed with a birdie.
Honestly, like I would like to apologise. This is one of those things where like you're playing snooker or pool,
Yeah.
and you accidentally ricochet a ball in,
Yeah.
and you sold your hand up, or you hit the net, in
Yeah, and it
tennis.
rolls over, yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm playing the game, so
Yeah.
these things happen,
Yeah.
but I didn't mean that to happen. So I'm sorry. I apologise. I've brought the game into disrepute, but it wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
I just took my shot, and it just worked out.
We're going to get our world ranking points evoked at this point.
Yeah, you are. You are. You definitely.
He's fuming.
You can check me for peds, but
If you drove the green in a group of 4, if you drove the green and were like, yeah, it looks pretty good on the dog leg, and went up there and checked the hole and it was in the hole, would you apologise and make all those excuses? No, you would not.
no,
You
no.
just own it and be like, I'm a god.
What he must have done
So
is
it's
like cart pathed it. It's like come out the bunker, lipped
a
in.
stinky one.
Yeah.
It's
One
like-
of his friends has found it in the bunker and put it in the
Yeah.
hole and not told him.
It's like was it the 6th at Bay Hill, I want to say, with the hole that's like right around
Yeah.
the leg, the one that
Bryson.
was cutting the corner on. See, that's a par 5, but to carry from the tee to the green is about 370, 380. But if you go all the way around, it's like 580 or something.
Yeah, so they've made it very short.
Yeah, so that's basically what this hole was. It's a 650-yard par 5, but it's such a dog leg.
Yep.
The green is next to the tee.
Yep.
And I'm the only one who knew.
Yeah, you just hit it. You just tapped it over there and it went.
I didn't even use driver.
More relevant. It's
Bottom.
like the that hole on the dunes as well that does this similar thing.
Oh, yeah.
that was like
right angle.
That'll be an interesting one next week to see what they do.
The one with the bald eagle.
The one with the bald eagle. Yeah.
Yeah, we did see some wildlife on that video.
Well, there you go.
Well, there you go. Guys,
hold on.
Sorry.
How did the Discord do?
I mean, I can't imagine.
I
it.
don't imagine it being.
Otherwise, he's had a hell of a day getting a job and hole in one.
Yeah.
Well done, Discord. Baden got it in 2. So he albatrossed the hole and got a new job. Excellent work, dude. The only thing that's dampened
made
it very
clear,
slightly is that Peter Finch is on PEDs and drove the green. So well done, Baden. Well done, Peter Finch. The current scores then are 6, 5 to the Discord, 3 to Jacob, 1 to
How many holes have we done?
we are through 14.
Oh wow! I need to get a move on.
Yeah, I didn't
I
realize
mean, I'm
we
not
were
winning,
approaching
but
the end.
Oh, no, we're not. We're
Like 12?
Yeah, we're through 12.
Okay.
We're through 12.
Still time.
Still not winning, but it's okay.
Still time. Kieran, there's still time.
Still
Still
time.
Unfortunately, you need to win all of the
This
remaining
is going to be a
holes.
I do, yeah,
historic run.
You need to find the dial of destiny and like turn back some time.
Yep. It's coming.
I'll tell you what, it's not going to be any of the players we've already had. So there you go. I've nailed it. I've nailed it down for you.
Don't help him.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is fantastic. I just want to say a big thank you to Taylor Gooch for being who you are. Because without you, I would have got a hole in one and I wouldn't be leading Guess the Player. No asterisks here. Guys, thanks so much for joining on the podcast yet again. A huge thank you for everyone for wrapping your ears around what we say or peeling your eyes to see our faces. Have a fantastic week and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
I didn't get any of that, but yeah. Bye.